Okay, so are you ready to dive in? Today we're going deep on chiropractic sales.
Chiropractic sales.
Yeah, you heard right.
Interesting.
So we're looking at this newsletter
Okay.
called The Spiz.
The Spiz.
Yeah, it's written by this guy, Twisty. He's like a growth coordinator or something.
Right.
But before you think chiropractic, what's that got to do with me?
Yeah, I was kind of wondering the same thing.
Just stick with me for a minute because this Twisty guy, he's got some really interesting thoughts on like busting out of a sales slump.
Okay, so we're talking about like when you're just not closing those deals.
Exactly. And his advice, it's like surprisingly universal, you know?
Universal. Like how so?
Well, he's got this whole program called ChiroSales Engine.
ChiroSales Engine.
Yeah, no, it sounds kind of cheesy, but basically it's like a sales boot camp for chiropractors.
Ah, okay.
They learn all about recruiting, onboarding, training, the whole shebang.
So like a sales Bible for chiropractors?
Very much. But the part that really caught my eye, it was this newsletter about slumps.
Slumps, like everyone gets those.
Right. And Twisty, he lays out these like 7 sneaky ways that we might actually be setting ourselves up for a slump.
7 ways. That's a lot.
I know, right? It's like we're sabotaging ourselves without even realizing it.
So tell me, what's number 1 on this list of slump starters?
Okay, so the first one is all about getting too attached to outcomes.
Outcomes. You mean like the results?
Exactly. Like we land a big client and we're on cloud 9.
Yeah, feeling invincible.
But then we lose a deal and it's like the sky is falling.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Right. And Twisty's saying that this kind of emotional roller coaster, it's basically a recipe for burnout.
Makes sense. You can't be on a high all the time.
And you can't let the lows completely crush you either.
So it's about finding that balance.
Yeah, like detaching from the outcome. Yeah.
So not getting too caught up in the wins or the losses.
Exactly. You got to celebrate the wins, but don't let them inflate your ego.
And learn from the losses, but don't let them destroy your confidence.
Right. It's like finding a way to stay even-keeled no matter what happens.
Sounds like a real challenge.
It is. But Twisty says it's key to avoiding a slump.
I can see how that would make sense.
All right, ready for number 2?
Hit me with it.
Okay, this one I am so guilty of.
Oh, me too.
It's blaming others when things go wrong.
Oh, yeah. That's an easy trap to fall into.
It is. It's so easy to point the finger, right? Like, oh, the client was unreasonable or my team totally messed this up.
It's not my fault.
Exactly. But Twisty says we got to flip the script and look inward first.
Okay, so take responsibility.
Yes. Ask yourself, what could I have done differently?
Even if it's just a small thing.
Even if it's tiny. Because when you take ownership, it empowers you to learn and grow from the experience.
I like that. Instead of being a victim, you become the one in control.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that leads perfectly into Twisty's third point, avoiding discomfort.
Avoiding discomfort. That sounds kind of counterintuitive.
Right. Because we're like programmed to seek comfort, avoid pain.
Yeah, that's human nature.
But Twisty says we actually need to lean into discomfort, like reframe it as an opportunity for growth.
Get comfortably being uncomfortable.
Yes, because that's where the real growth happens, outside of your comfort zone.
So it's like instead of running from challenges, you embrace them.
Exactly. You face them head on and you learn and you grow stronger because of it.
Okay, I'm starting to see the pattern here.
Right. It's all about mindset, taking responsibility, pushing yourself.
So what's next on the list?
This one's about systems and habits.
Systems and habits.
Yeah, Twisty says that ignoring these can be a major slump starter.
Okay, not sure I follow.
It's easy to get so caught up in the day-to-day grind that we don't stop and think, are my systems actually working? Or are my habits helping me or holding me back?
Oh, I see what you mean.
Like, are you working smarter, not harder? Do you have good systems in place to support your goals?
It's like trying to drive a car with a flat tire.
Exactly. You can keep pushing the gas pedal, but you're not going to get very far.
Sometimes you need to pull over and fix the tire first.
Yes. Same with our work habits and systems.
Okay, so take a step back and evaluate.
And then adjust as needed.
Okay, makes sense.
Now for number 5, Twisty gets real blunt.
Oh, I like blunt.
He calls it romanticizing BS.
Romanticizing BS. What's that all about?
It's about being brutally honest with ourselves.
Like no sugarcoating.
None. Are we clinging to narratives that might not be serving us?
Making excuses.
Yes. Telling ourselves stories that make us feel better, but ultimately keep us stuck.
Oh, I know. I do that sometimes.
We all do. But Twisty says we got to cut it out, face the truth, even if it's uncomfortable.
So it's like self-sabotage, basically.
Exactly. We can't change what we don't acknowledge.
So honesty is key.
Honesty and self-awareness.
Okay, I'm taking notes. What's number 6?
This one's short and sweet. Talking versus doing.
Oh, I feel like I know where this is going.
Action.
Action speaks louder than words.
You got it. We can talk all day about our goals, our strategies, our brilliant ideas.
But if you don't actually do anything,
It's all meaningless. We got to walk the walk, not just talk the talk.
execution is everything.
And that brings us to Twisty's final slump-busting tip.
I'm ready. Lay on me.
Rest.
Yeah.
Rest.
Yeah, I know it sounds counterintuitive.
Especially in the world of sales.
Right, where it's all go, go, go.
Always hustling.
But Twisty says rest is not a luxury, it's a necessity.
For everyone, but especially high achievers.
Especially us. And to illustrate this point, he actually uses the biblical story of Elijah,
Elijah,
the prophet.
the one and only.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So after this huge victory, Elijah gets totally burnt out.
Makes sense after all that effort.
Right, so he is off to seek some
I
solitude.
needed a break.
And get this, God doesn't reprimand him for needing rest.
Interesting.
Instead, he provides Elijah with food and support.
So it's like a divine endorsement of rest.
Exactly. And Twisty points out that this story also emphasizes the importance of support systems.
Support systems.
Knowing that you don't have to go it alone, that asking for help is okay.
Everyone needs a helping hand sometimes.
And Twisty even gives links to 4 advisors you could reach out to,
He's really putting his money where his mouth is.
including his own performance coach, this guy Phil Towell.
So he's walking the walk himself.
Exactly. He's practicing what he preaches.
I like that.
All right, so to sum it all up, Twisty leaves us with this call to action.
Hit me with it.
Sit up, stand up, shut up, and grow.
Let's sit up, stand up, shut up, and grow. I like that.
It's about taking ownership, taking action, and focusing on continuous growth.
So it's not just about avoiding slumps, it's about constantly striving to improve.
Exactly. Now, while all this is framed in the context of chiropractic sales,
Like starting with chiropractors?
the principles that are universal, right?
Absolutely. Self-awareness, taking responsibility, focusing on action, recognizing the importance of rest and support,
That's crucial for success in any field.
no matter what you do.
So here's a little something for you to ponder.
Okay, I'm ready.
How can you apply these principles from the world of chiropractic sales to your own life?
Interesting question.
What slumps might you be able to avoid or overcome by incorporating Twisty's wisdom?
That's something we can all think about.
Food for thought.
Definitely food for thought. Thanks for bringing this to my attention.
No problem. It's pretty interesting stuff.
It is.
All right, that's it for today's deep dive.
See you next time.
Catch you later.
Bye.
Bye.